I'm well, thank you. I just wanted to ask you, I'm sure you've heard, obviously you were involved in the leadership deal in the Senate, and if you had any thoughts on it.
Well, I think that the members, some of the members were elected as Democrats, as it's no secret, have been unsure what direction that they wanted to go. And when they thought they had reached an agreement, they wanted some people that they all agreed upon would sit and hear what they want to accomplish. And a lot of it is reform, and some of it was private among them. And they asked me to come over and watch, and I did. And they seem to be establishing trust among themselves again. And I think it's a good thing for the party. I would have worked with either party, regardless of who would have won. But the Democratic Party is the one that enabled me to become governor and the one that I support. So what's really important, and maybe more important than that, is somebody's got to come back to Albany in January and help me cut huge amounts off of the deficit, and to establish that legislators have a strong role in this process. And at least this group today seemed very dedicated to doing that.
Governor, it's Ozzie Paver with the New York Observer. There was some talk about deals that had to be made in order for everyone to support Malcolm Smith, possibly on same-sex marriage and possibly on leadership positions. Do you know anything about those, and can you talk about their importance to this deal?
Well, the members spoke to Senator Malcolm Smith privately, and I'm not really privy to their private conversations. Most of the group conversation was about rules changes for reform in the Senate, and some of they were kind of soliciting advice on how to accomplish certain things, and just advising me that they wanted to help with this budget deficit situation. So that was pretty much all they needed me to do, and I was very happy to accommodate them.
And sorry, just as a quick follow-up, would you like to see same-sex marriage brought to the floor for a vote within this legislative session?
Well, I supported same-sex marriage legislation when I was running for lieutenant governor with Governor Spitzer, and we had advocated for its passage, and we are ready to have it passed at any time. So, but now my role is not as a legislator, but is to sign the bill when and if the legislature ever passes it, which I would do.
Thank you.
Dave, just one follow-up, I'm sorry.
Sure.
What took so long? I mean, it seems to me that you could have shut this down earlier, perhaps, if you had wanted to, or if Malcolm had wanted to. I mean, what took a month? I mean, it's over a month now.
I thought it was early.
Did you?
Let me tell you something. If I had a deciding vote, I might stretch it out to the last minute, because the more you stretch it out, the more your price goes up. So actually, I am very, very impressed that these gentlemen reached an agreement far earlier than I thought they would. I thought this would go down to the last few days. That's what surprised me. And it's a testament to their willingness to make the process move forward, because since they did have votes, they could have played this out to the last minute. There's absolutely nothing that I could have done about it, and I doubt that Majority Leader Smith could have done about it. It was their willingness to sit down with both sides, actually, and work out agreements. And I don't know what their conversations were with the current majority, but they seemed to prefer working with the Democrats and Malcolm Smith, and I think that's fine.
Should they have held out longer? They could have gotten more if they had held out longer. That seems to be what you're saying.
Well, you can at times overplay your hand in a situation, and I'm saying they could have held out longer, but what I thought they were doing was they proved today that they weren't holding out just to get as much as they possibly can. They apparently had a goal, and when they reached the goal, they were willing to support the leader. And, you know, I think that's helpful to the entire state, because making a leadership change is a difficult thing. The transition in Washington is difficult. when the House or Senate in Washington changes leadership, it's difficult, and it will be this way in New York State since there hasn't been a leadership change in 43 years. So the earlier, the better for government.
Governor, just one quick follow-up. Would you like to see any of the rules changes that the Senate Democrats make applied in the Assembly?
Well, I mean, these are the rules that they want to use to operate the Senate. Right. I wouldn't try to dictate to the Assembly to do anything. If I could dictate to the Assembly, if they would even listen, because I'm not really a dictator, right, it would be deficit reduction. And I don't care what rules they use. If they can help me close a $1.7 billion budget